Hello, dear friends. No one will be able to say that they were not informed or warned when they call us messengers, conspiracy theorists, and ridiculed us. Denial is what allows evil to flourish. Hell is full of the ungrateful. When the ungrateful forget who helped them, misery refreshes their memory. Over the years, I learned that it is better to ignore than to hate, because sooner or later, the one who hurt you destroys himself. Opinion piece. Lights in darkness. From darkness to light, everything comes to the surface. The mass awakening begins. The power of the dark side is broken. This has created more division and chaos. Timelines now diverge. Denial allows evil to flourish. This will persist until people awaken. Transition is about helping each other. The evil ones negotiate because they want to gain the impossible. Let's start. Light and darkness are part of life, and staying in the darkness reminds us how important truth is to illuminate our path and discover our surroundings. We have heard of the recent Forces of Light operation, where they took some of the West to Antarctica and gave them an ultimatum: if they would turn towards the light, or they could be removed through the portal elsewhere, according to Mark Bogman. There are indeed a lot of operations going on behind the scenes, but for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, this is happening in that area and others. Many are being brought to justice, and others will find justice when they leave this realm and find it in the hereafter. Antarctica is so far removed from most civilizations and so private that those galactics who have to come to negotiate with these evil ones have found that this area is completely open to negotiation, because the frequency is so high and will capitulate the naughty ones. But there is a lot of negotiation going on, because the bad guys want to win, and that is impossible. So they will continue to negotiate, but we will tell them that the light has won, and this will be over soon, and you will see miraculous things happen. But we cannot tell the day or the hour. Free will. Free will must be respected. That is why you are still seeing an increase in actions to silence the awakened. This will persist until people resist. Too many people continue to participate in these measures and lack the courage and integrity to break free. That is why the harsh lessons continue. Many want the malevolent beings to swoop in and end it all. To swoop in and end it all. But it is not their mission to interfere with the free choice each human being makes to gain wisdom from their mistakes, especially if they were never invited to the party, even though they have now been invited recently. To deal with these energies here on Earth, one must have a firm foundation in universal law or spiritual law, universal peace, brotherly love, individual freedom, and prosperity for all. Another law is that one cannot take from another what is not theirs, nor keep what is not theirs. Competition only has merit in a false identity of being separate. If the Creator is omnipresent in all creation, with whom you are competing, all will be revealed in the days to come, with or without us. Waiting for the sleeping ones. Planet Earth is moving from the old negative third dimension to the positive fifth dimension that will reshape us and the planet. It is time to bath in the light and relax, knowing that the good job has been done. The global mafia has been defeated. The wait is for the awakening of the masses before we can begin the total cleansing of planet Earth. The fact that there is still no physical evidence of our work doesn't mean that nothing has been accomplished. Indeed, much of our work has been done behind the scenes. Others, fortunately, seeing how much we have helped spread the light on a planet that has been dark for hundreds of thousands of years. Once the truth has spread throughout the world, there is no way back to darkness. The time has come for all of humankind to awaken and take the path to the fifth dimension. Each awakened one is capable of making the ascent on his own, without waiting for others. We have all suffered much in the past, and many of you now feel disillusioned, tired, weak, exhausted, and wonder why we are struggling. You wonder when the darkness that has been hovering over us for so long will end, and why we still walk the surface of the earth. Many feel depressed that their family and friends are still asleep, and why we have not been able to wake them up. Never doubt that your life has been in vain. You who are awake are the strong ones who hold the light so that others may follow. Manifestation. The time has come to manifest the dreams you may have had all your life and wondered if they would ever come true. Be assured that all these dreams will come true. No one can stop you now. Stand up to those who would try to disrupt these dreams. There will be less care for material things and life of being bound to our slave states. A renewal in humanity of kindness toward all things, a new understanding of all real abilities, and the discarding of the old system of wars, hatred, greed, lies, control systems, and the creatures responsible for the many centuries of human misery. This new dimension of planetary consciousness alone, with the release of the hidden patents, will make life longer, healthier, and less costly. Everything is being re-evaluated and changed or discarded, as you will see in the coming years. Ignorance. The most pressing problem facing humankind today is the loss of the concept of meaning. Meaning is based on the past. When knowledge of the past declines, so does the meaning of life. The human being today no longer knows where he came from, who he is, and where he is going. One has become the plaything of powers that can drive him at will. Disconnected from the past, there is no fulcrum, no yardstick. And without a reality-oriented yardstick, there is no possibility of developing a true understanding of what is happening in the world. Only the path back to the roots gives life meaning again. There can be no monetary system if belief is based on an artificially created value, which is an illusion that prevents humankind from relating to life. In doing so, they are also subject to the false notion that their own existence is life itself, which also leads them to believe in the false notion that life is something or someone that belongs to them. So far, this false belief makes them slaves to the monetary system. Definition. What is this awakening really about? By Luna. Awakening is a spiritual process of balancing the light and the dark within you. We do this through spiritual practice, or through meditation, or even prayer. No one cares why we are awakening, only what we can do to accelerate this inner process. As workers of the light, we can see the darkness, but not be drawn into it. While darkness is a projection of unhealed personal darkness. I'll repeat the phrase. While darkness is a projection of unhealed personal darkness. It is not intellectual. We are balancing light and darkness. We can bring more truth through our spiritual realizations. The more we work on ourselves, the greater our inner light becomes. In turn, we also feel lighter. There must be more to life than we can see. Awakening is not about judgment. It is about acceptance. Although we ourselves recognize the truth, many others do not have the capacity to see, feel, and heal. We do not allow ourselves to be drawn into that state of fear. The unhealed collective consciousness is simply world darkness. We need to project love from afar so that we can heal and awaken. It is a frequency, not an intellectual thought. Awakening comes from our connection to Source. No one and nothing can keep us disconnected from our God. When we are afraid, we are disconnected because we are in darkness. So we need to shine a light in the darkness, without judgment, only with sincere love. Look at everything with eyes of love and heart of love. Keep the focus of a teacher. I know it is difficult in this three-dimensional world full of chaos, but in your mastery you are in the world but not part of it. Understand that awakening is a frequency, not an understanding of a situation. Awakening is about acceptance and recognition of the light within. Know that our true nature is not fear, but divine love. We are here to illuminate the darkness. Many light workers came from higher dimensions to be here in this transition and out of their love for humankind. No book, magazine, or video can teach you this, and cannot open a heart until it is ready and the codes are turned on. This is our time. We have trained for many lifetimes, so we know what to do. Listen to your intuition. Don't strain or push. Just flow. Angels walk with you always, but there are many of them here supporting all our efforts. You are never alone, even though you may feel like you are. Understand that you came in with all the keys and they are within you. You have everything you need in this life inside you. If you feel discouraged at times, simply ask for help. Understand that your angels are waiting to step in, but you must ask them. Breathe in that knowledge and remember who you are. A guide who came here to show the way to many. Division and Chaos by James Gilliland of SETI News. There is a massive influx of energy coming from various sources. The Sun, other galaxies, and higher dimensions are working together. The higher dimensions work together with these natural cycles, knowing when is the best time for them to act on your behalf. When these energies enter our system, they amplify and accelerate everything, creating chaos, exposing the dark side in ourselves and the external world. Everything comes to the surface. We have to own our dark side, or it will be used against us as an opening to influence or possess. There is a lot of information about the surrender of the clique and the invisible negative influences. It is a work in progress, where different aspects of the clique continue to appear along with well-hidden regenerated visitors. This includes hybrids and people who were turned into empty vessels so they could enter. When they surface, they are being dealt with by invisible masters, but the negativity linked to Earth is more difficult to deal with because it belongs to a different category, as it is the responsibility of the sleeping population. The social engineering and cognitive dissonance of the masses was underestimated along with the depth of infiltration. Unfortunately, it will take really hard lessons to bring many out of their socially engineered denial. Most believe that their government is helping them, when in fact it has not been their government for a long time. It is important to realize that this lesson is part of your eternal soul's plan and cannot be interfered with. When your review comes, you will ask how this happened, and the being of light will reply that we sent many messengers. You dismissed them and called them conspiracy theorists. Denial is what allowed able to flourish, as well as people intellectually reasoning out what they know in their hearts to be wrong actions. Traps. Not everyone will win this battle. Many will rise to the top but fail because they underestimated the dark side, which knew exactly where the chinks in your armor are and how to use them against you. The dark side knew your fears, what makes you angry, your denials, your guilt, and even how to use your own compassion for others against you. The dark side knows your weakness, your desires, your wants, what many call needs. It will challenge each of them to find a way to take the wheel and determine your destiny. It lurks in the void of unfulfilled desires, believes in the external to provide love, joy, happiness, security, abundance, etc. All of this must be found from within. Going within keeps you focused on your power. The dark side will say it can protect you. It will teach you how to do the same to others 10 times what they did to you. You will have power over others and no one will ever hurt you again. They will promise fame and fortune if you give them your life. Of course, all of this comes at the price. That price has been paid time and time again with the best people in the various fields who started out with high ideals and are now trapped within a system that serves their ungodly masters. Babaji once said that the best contribution anyone can make is to live a completely loving, happy and abundant life as an example to others. What we are trying to fix in others is often what we need to fix within yourselves. Reset News. On Wednesday, January 5th, protesters succeeded in taking over the government of Kazakhstan, the most dominant nation in Central Asia, and capital of the New World Order alongside Israel, Ukraine, Switzerland, the Vatican, the City of London, and Washington, D.C. Kazakhstan used Hollywood to create a false image of Kazakhstan while building up of Kazakhstan while building a high-tech New World Order headquarters in the capital city of Astana. Kazakhstan used to be part of the Silk Road next to the Chinese border, and Bitcoin mining moved there when China banned it earlier this year. The coalition is shutting all that down right now. The energy deficit is forcing crypto miners to leave Kazakhstan. In January 2022, the dark side of the force plans to launch a major false flag event. The coalition would allow it to happen to get the red pill to the general public, though they remain in charge of all such world events to keep them from getting out of hand. In the wake of the recent Asian financial crisis, many blame international institutions, corruption, governments, and flawed economic policies for not only causing the crisis but also prolonging and deepening it unnecessarily, according to the Nomad economist. Reflection. Thought crime, in quotes, is a word coined by George Orwell in his 1949 dystopian novel entitled 1984. It describes a person's politically unorthodox thoughts, such as beliefs and doubts that contradict the tenets of English socialism, the dominant ideology of Oceania. Ethnicity versus uniqueness of the individual. There will come a day when we stop thinking in terms of nationalities and even ethnic groups and start thinking in terms of individuals, according to Steve Biko. But it is very important to be aware of your lineage and cultural roots, because a tree cannot grow without deep roots and high branches reaching to the sky. Create your own reality. The widespread New Age conviction that one creates one's own reality is appealing, but seems illusory. The most poignant and problematic consequence of accepting the idea that people create their own reality is the question of suffering and death. People with severe disabilities of incurable illnesses feel let down and degraded when confronted with the suggestion that they have brought their misfortune upon themselves, or that their inability to change things points to a weakness in their approach to life. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.